Hey everyone, Draco Prime 220 here. Before I start the video, I want to give a quick update. I might be able to potentially upgrade in July. I'll be honest, I don't want to make plans, but I get a very strong feeling I'll be able to upgrade in July. And I will celebrate somehow by giving you all subscribers I have, and maybe subscribers to come, better quality content. I am sorry because I have lost a couple subscribers. If it's something I've said, I apologize. Keep in mind I am still new to making YouTube videos when there have been people on this platform that have done it for years. I did start this channel in late November, early December of last year. I'm new to this, and I am very shy, and I get kind of nervous. And I know sometimes I repeat myself a lot, and I sometimes stutter, or... I'm sorry, I've had that problem my whole life. You know, talking very fast, you know, repeating myself. I'm sorry if that, I'm sorry if that bothers you. But, I don't want to make plans, because the plans of mice and men do often go astray, so... it's better just to have an idea of what you hope can happen instead of a full-on plan, because something may be thrown your way and the plan may not go correctly, so I'm trying not to jinx it. But, yeah, I might be able to upgrade in July and give you all better quality content, and I don't have to use a phone. But, today I am going to talk about a what-if. I've been watching a lot of what-if videos, and they're very interesting. There are two that will be in the description box below. Seismic and What If Kaiju. And I think this what if should be very interesting, because this is my what if. What if the Storm of Zephyr Heights... Sorry, I had a late supper. The Storm of Zephyr Heights is a comic book series based in the My Little Pony Generation 5 era, and in case you have not read the comic or seen comic book dubs or readings of the comic, there will be spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go watch those or actually read the comic and come back to this later. What if Gen 5 was not canceled? What if Hasbro did not pull the plug? I personally think the Storm of Zephyr Heights could have made one of the most interesting and most discussed of My Little Pony specials, whether it was in Make Your Mark or Tell Your Tale. Heck, I'll even go a step further. I personally think the Storm of Zephyr Heights could have made a full-on movie. You just add a few things here and there on top of what's already in the comic, and I think it would make a pretty good movie. And I think it would be the most talked about My Little Pony film since A New Generation. This could have been like a sequel to The Secrets of Starlight, because think about it. What they could have done is we got New Generation, Make Your Marks, chapters 1 through 6. Then they could have made another movie, Storm of Zephyr Heights, leading to Make Your Mark Season 2. And then they could have taken a small break, focused on Tell Your Tale, then gone back to Make Your Mark. And, I think they could have added Allura in. Allura could have played an antagonist, because think about it, this is a massive snowstorm. This would be right up her alley. Also very desperate to find her brother, and maybe she trails the ponies to Zephyr Heights and to Cloudsdale, thinking maybe that she could find something to use to help herself to finding her brother, leading to a face-off between Sunny and Allura. And of course, once again, if you haven't read the comic, Misty, Izzy, and Hitch and other ponies are trying to making an airship to get up to Cloudsdale. And maybe they could have had where Allura reluctantly helps them out and saves their friends, making an uneasy alliance with the Snow Leopard. But, yeah. But of course, spoilers, once again, Rainbow Dash makes a cameo. And I think that would have been the most talked about if this was made into a special or a full-on movie. Because in the comic, Rainbow Dash makes 2 cameos. One as a hologram in her cheerful, free self, happy, acting as awesome as ever. But also she makes a cameo at the end, revealing, how upset she is that she's losing her ability to fly. And her, she doesn't really believe Twilight should be taking away the magic. And once again, I have made a video about that several days ago, about how Twilight's not a dictator or evil. If a true leader cares for their people, you gotta make the tough calls and tough choices. But on the other hand, I do feel bad for Rainbow Dash, because that's what her flying, her speed, her loyalty. Yeah, and she had an ego, let's be honest, she had a very big ego. But, you're taking away what makes Rainbow Dash, and you can't help but feel sorry for her. That little message was so influential that Macario made a small music video all around that little message from Rainbow Dash. And that's really impressive to me. Macario's channel also will be in the description box below if you're curious. He hasn't made anything currently. I think he's taking a bit of a break. Don't blame him. We can all use a break sometimes. But I really think the Storm of Zephyrite had a lot of potential. I think a lot of the Brony community would have talked about this if it was made into a special or full-on film. And can you just picture this done in a new generation style of animation? Seeing Misty, Allura, everyone once again in that beautiful new generation style of animation. Because I think that some of that animation was actually very beautiful to look at. And really detailed, too, because I really also liked how with the ponies, like, their ears would twitch a little bit. I liked the little mannerisms they would add in. So, and think about Allura, because I know a lot of people prefer Allura's design in Tell Your Tale than not in Make Your Mark. I will admit her design in Make Your Mark looked a little iffy, but I really think in a new generation style of animation, she would look both menacing and majestic. That's my personal opinion. But, I really think, and they could have done it like that. Hasbro could have done something like that where they did a new generation, then did chapters 1 through 6 of Make Your Mark, and then they could have done a movie adaptation of The Storm of Zephyr Heights, just adding a little extra in there to make it a full-on film, add a little more lore, add Allura in as the antagonist, and then they could have done Make Your Mark Season 2, chapters 6 through 12. Then they could have taken maybe a bit of a break from Make Your Mark, go to Tell Your Tale, continue the story that way, and heck, they could have done Make Your Mark again, and then they could have wrapped up everything in a nice little bow with a movie to wrap everything up, because originally, for Gen 4, there was this big planning board where they said they were going to make a movie to wrap everything up, and they were also planning on making a Celestia and Luna prequel film. I made a video about that. I've been trying to find where that is. I know one of the YouTube videos I saw a while back had that image. I'm trying to find it, and I'm sorry, I cannot find it anywhere. But I do believe this had a lot of potential to be a good special or a good full-length film for Netflix. And I can tell you, I even liked all the posters for A New Generation. And they could have done a different contrast. Like, with A New Generation, it's all about fun, meeting all these characters, looking like your traditional My Little Pony, looking all cute and everything. And if I'm looking, really quick, if I'm looking that way, my Spyro is, he's playing around right now. His bigger brother, Vito, is sleeping on my bed. You'll probably be seeing them when I make better videos on my laptop. So, if you see a couple furry faces here and there, you know who they are. But yeah, they could have done posters with how New Generation is. It's all fun, adventurous, and has that My Little Pony love that you see. But personally, with the Storm of Zephyr Heights, they could have had Zip standing, looking at the storm with their friends, you know, aiding them, looking all serious and tough, and you could have like dark clouds here, seeing Zip and everyone else, and this would have been pretty much Zip's movie, which I think would have been nice. I like Zip. I think Zip was a cool addition. And you could have like Zip and Sunny standing next to each other, and Spyro is here. Say hello, Spyro. This is one of my boys. You could have like Zip standing next with Sunny standing towards each other with Hitch, Izzy, Misty, and Pip. Even Sparky could have shown up. I think Sparky would have looked really cute in a New Generation style of animation. And I personally think they could have like dark clouds and snow coming down, some lightning, and maybe up in the high corner of this What If poster, they could have had where you see Cloudsdale, some sun, like basically the past is colliding with the present. Like, make it kind of symbolic. And I can also imagine another poster featuring the big fight between Allura and Sunny on Cloudsdale. And look, I know Allura is not in the comic, but I think adding Allura in as a antagonistic force, not as a full-on villain, but like someone who's just, after the events of Secrets of Starlight, she's trying to find a way to get to her brother since the Nova Charm was taken by the ponies. And a snowstorm like that would be up her alley. And on top of that, she'd be very curious, where are they going? And maybe she would believe they have something that could help her get to her brother. And I could see a struggle, a face-off between Sunny and Allura, but then it would end with Allura being a reluctant helper in saving their friends. And maybe this would lead into already Allura and the pony's relationship is very uneasy. But if they got a hint of her somewhat good nature that she does have on more earlier time, I think the whole fight with the greatest gift ever probably would not have happened. But I can't really say that for sure. But I really think that could have worked. I really think it could have had a lot of potential. And like with the Brony community, I really think a lot of people would have been talking about it. Like, we're getting little bits and pieces of what happened from the different perspective of other characters, and you're being given an appetizer and you want more. But unfortunately, Hasbro pulled the plug, and I really think it was a mistake. I really do. You know, I can't stay really mad at them because the deed's already been done, and I really don't think any talking is going to change their minds. Now, I would really be shocked if they, for some bizarre reason, brought Gen 5 back, but I highly doubt that. But, once again, we just gotta wait and see if anything is revealed soon, and see what's going on. We're getting tiny little breadcrumbs of information here and there. One of the, I know on LinkedIn, one of the writers for the next series was hinted at. I know there was a post of that on Equestria Daily. And now this Andrea Libman post that went gone 2 days after it was put up on Instagram is gone. See, the little things here and there are building up to something that could be quite interesting. But we just gotta wait and see. And I know the waiting is getting a bit much, but we just gotta be patient, unfortunately. But, yeah, let me know your thoughts of this What If in the comment section down below. And, I'll make another video pretty soon. Maybe Tuesday, because, I got a couple things I gotta do this week. But I think Tuesday I'll have some time to make a video, so expect a video on Tuesday. And I hope to upgrade in July, so, probably after a couple more videos on my phone, the next time you guys see me is using a computer and having better quality content. So, until then, I am Draco Prime 220, signing off. See you later, everyone.